Well, a very good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you're watching us. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evan Sokinya, and I'm glad that you've joined us here on this episode of the Candy Talk. I'm joined by my resident guest, Wakili Willis Otieno, who is also the deputy party leader of Safina Party. Wakili, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm quite okay.
Yes.
I heard somebody say somewhere that your agenda actually resonates with the people. But in this country, does that one alone actually make you get the top seat?
You know, the tradition of politics is to go on top of vehicles and lie to Kenyans. After you lie to Kenyans, you look for a tribal chieftain, give him a position. So it's tribal elites sitting down to organize themselves, gaslight the people, go on top of cars, pay some young people 100 shillings, 200 shillings to cheer them, take pictures, the media covers them, then they become the leaders of the nation. Is that the politics that we want in this country? Is that the leadership that we want? As a Safina Party, we are very clear. Our conversation is about the economy. How do we torpedo this entire political system to come up with a system where it's the people's interests, not individuals? That is why we said we are very clear. We are not going to be any part of any tribal conversation that we come together so that me I get this position, so and so gets this position. The conversation we are going to have and any talks on a coalition with anybody should be a discussion on the economy. How are we going to make sure as a coalition that we reduce the VAT that is charged on fuel, for example, or take it out altogether? Because we know why VAT is being charged on fuel is this government wants to collect more money from Kenyans to pay tax, to pay debt. That debt, which as Safina we are very clear, is odious debt. It is illegal debt. The Kenyan people should not pay it. Take it out of our debt book. That money that this coming financial year we are going to pay 2.1 trillion shillings in debt finance against a revenue collection in this current financial year of 2.1 trillion. So it means what we are paying next year as debt is the full sum that we have collected this year.
Okay.
All of it goes to debt finance. So are you seeing any conversation going on in Kenya Kwanza with Broad-Based or in Manyora and others on how to reduce this debt burden? They are not. So, and people are saying, why are we not going on top of cars? We're telling them, going on top of cars is what led us to Kasongo. See, you are seeing the results of it. So this new campaign, we are doing it on our phones.
Okay.
We are discussing as a people where there are no emotions involved. Let us be reasonable in terms of making this decision. Let every Kenyan own this conversation in their space. I don't remember anybody going on top of cars when Gen Z revolution was happening on 25th of June. It was just on our phones, in our private spaces. But the aftermath of that revolution led to protests and numbers that have never been seen in the history of the earth. And the ramifications of that revolution is being felt to date. Even Baba losing AU, seat, has something to do with that revolution. Even Gachagua being impeached has everything to do with that revolution. The political turmoil you are witnessing in Kenya Kwanza is drawing from the people's voice. And the people didn't wait for someone to mobilize them on top of a vehicle and campaign the way we know it. They did it themselves because they owned the issue. And we are saying the issue is the economy. Let us start asking these people, what are you going to do different on the economic question? As Safina, we are very clear on what we'll do.
So you don't believe in this kind of trajectory that the rooftop maestros have actually had so far?
We do not believe in that rooftop sunroof politics. The sunroof politics is about lies. Nobody gives you an opportunity to debate and to question him. Because what do they do? William Ruto goes to a position, gets out on top of his vehicle, start telling you, sijui barabara ya Mogodogashe, Samata, Kotulo. Where's the conversation? Where's the engagement?
Okay.
That is not the type of leadership that we want. We want a leadership where you go to a town hall and you debate with the people. You tell them, I want to do this. And they ask you how. And they test your ideas. You respond. By the time you're done with that town hall, the idea that you went with has become a better idea. But if we continue with the rooftop politics, is what leads to tribal lord, that if Mudavadi is there, all lawyers are full.
Okay.
Someone comes to tell you that money is sleeping in Omabay and the electricity is sleeping in Siaya. So all laws are full. And yet the reality is, how many laws today sleep hungry? How many young women don't have jobs? How many people are not able to access university funding, education? How many are not able to pay for their healthcare services because Chief Shai is not working? So this traditional politics has not worked.
Okay.
And we must say what it is. It has failed. We try something new.
Talking of these, of course, the people who are here who are saying, well, for those who are actually opposing the government, it is within your right to articulate some of these issues, criticize the government and critique it in whichever manner you deem fit, as long as you don't hurt anybody in the process. But there are also people who believe that the government actually should be given time to fulfill some of the pledges and campaign that they made during the campaign period. Let us look at the countries and the country and its state right now and how things are going. When you look at the health sector right now, private hospitals are saying here that they'll no longer give services to Kenyans who are depending on the government's insurance policy. All this working hand, of course, doctors are also saying that they will be back on the streets anytime soon. Yet the government is saying they should be given time.
No one has stopped them from working. The last I checked, I have not seen anybody who has blocked government offices. So which time do they need? Who has stopped them from implementing what they want to implement? What people are discussing is the effect of what they are doing. In fact, they report to work every day. Every morning when you see on traffic here, you see government vehicles overlapping, siren and driving very fast. They're very busy going to work. Who has ever stopped them? See, they always go to work every day. What we are discussing is the ramifications, the effect of their failures. Chief Share, they're the ones who came up with that program. It was meant to enhance access to healthcare services. It is achieving the opposite. People are dying. The same government did away with the Linda Mama. Now go to county referral hospitals today. You're going to find very many young girls, young women who have given birth, who are detained in hospital because they can't pay the 10,000 shillings for normal delivery. They are detained, being given 1 meal a day. Their children are now prisoners in those hospitals. You go to university funding model. They are the ones who came with that model, funding model. They are the ones who took away the funding model that we knew and came up with their own model that has now led to over half students who qualified to join universities staying at home this academic year. Who stopped them? They are the ones who killed Rex and Denzel and abducted Joshua Okayo. So they are the ones doing these bad things. Nobody has stopped them from doing it. We are simply saying your things are failing. Those over 60 young people who they killed, the over 300 young people that they abducted, who are they blaming for? They want more time to abduct more or to kill more? I mean, Kenya Kwanza has shown us who they are. Their capacity, even if you gave them 1 million years, they'll kill more people. Don't lie to yourselves. They'll abduct more people. They'll come up with more pain. They'll continue taking odious debt. Life in this country will become unbearable. So the people are done with Kenya Kwanza. In our minds, they don't exist. They're just occupying space. The conversation that we should be having as a nation is, where are we going next? What is that next promised leadership that we desire that is going to respond to the needs of the people? And it's not this one. And I don't believe it is the tribal politics that some people stand up and say, oh, we are going to punish a particular region. Every Kenyan is suffering. There is no special shop, as I always say, for Kalenjins, for Kikuyus, or for Luos. Kenyans are facing the economic pain across the divide. The only difference between Kenyans is there are those who are in office who are enjoying and living large off our taxpayers' money, and the masses who are the ones, their pockets are being raided to give the other side a lavish lifestyle. So the ones who, for the longest time, being disenfranchised, are the ones now demanding for a political system that works for them. Look, name anybody in the political leadership today. Name any of them. Their names will not be missing the last 30 years if you check the history of Kenya. They've been something, one thing or another. MP, senator, governor, member of parliament, prime minister, president, deputy president. They've been something in the last 30 years. All of them. But what's the result of their being there? Is the people crying? Is the pain? So we need to get rid of all of this. We need to come up with a new political system that is pro-people, genuinely pro-people. Otherwise, there is no end in sight for what we are going through. They are going to cause you more pain. That is the conversation that we are having, and nobody has stopped Kenya Kwanza from working. We are actually discussing the ramifications and the effects of their failures. That is what is being discussed.
Well, during the campaign period, the president also said that he was kind of constituting a government that was pro-people, and he was actually targeting the people who were down there.
But he's a liar.
What would be the difference between him and you at this point?
But he's
because
a
you're
liar.
also telling me that you are creating a government that is pro-people.
As we are not saying that we are going to create a government that is pro-people, as we are telling the people to come and create their government, we are not creating it. As we are telling the people, power in your hands. Let's form an political arrangement where power comes to your hand. Before the elections, we agree. What are the tangibles that must be done? I gave you an example last time. VAT on fuel must fall. You don't have to wait for a president to issue an edict. If that is the campaign, you say, I'm being sworn in on this day, from that day, don't pay VAT on fuel. If a pump attendant tries to charge you VAT, you arrest him. You don't pay. Power in your hands are the people. That's the kind of discussion we want to have. What is going to put power in the hands of the people? Not that they are waiting for somebody up there to do something. Do away with all of these bureaucracies. Do away with this political system that undermines the dignity of the individual. These are promises that are tangible. We are not saying tutarudisha. Atuta, nyinyi ndio mtafanya. You, the who pays VAT on fuel, it's the people. Tell them, don't pay it from once our coalition wins. Don't pay. Yeah.
How do you run a country when the people do not pay taxes? That is.
I've said don't pay VAT on fuel. The other taxes which are paid for.
Okay.
So you give them a breather. I mean, these people have been overburdened by the tax. Lift this burden off my shoulder. So says the Lord. So me, I'll say, don't pay VAT on fuel. Why should we pay VAT on fuel? We can, from the savings we are going to make from the audience debt, we can meet that shortfall. We don't need that money. Yeah? And if you don't pay VAT on fuel, what is going to be the end result of it? You're going to see increased production. People are going to use more, consume more fuel. When they consume more fuel, they'll produce more. So you'll still collect the money through other means. But at least at the individual level, you'll have gotten a relief in your pocket. That is supply side economics, what we believe in. These ones believe in demand side economics, where government will always be the Father Christmas, doling goodies to you. And you say Serikali's idea. We don't want that kind of life. We want to give you a relief in your pocket.
Okay. There is this idea that we cannot not actually feel the kind of impact that we would want from the government policies and how the government is actually trying to do whatever it can to ensure that maybe the economy of the country is restored. And I've seen several members, especially those who are pro the government, say that we should at least give the government some sort of, not actually give the government, but then that we should judge President William Ruto maybe after 3 years, after 4 years, after 5 years, and we shall look back and see, indeed, he did this and did that. I wonder whether you also buy that idea that we cannot actually see the impact of what the government is doing right now.
So those people are dying because they can't access healthcare services. We cannot see it. Yeah, people are dying as I'm talking to you. I've told you, go to any county referral hospital today, you're going to find young mothers who have been detained in hospital because they can't pay. So you're waiting for 5 years to see it. So it's happening now. Those university students wouldn't report because of the university funding model. You are still waiting for 5 years to see it. They are at home. We can see them. So what are you talking about? Those who are sleeping hungry tonight, those young people who don't have jobs. It's happening. I'm not telling you something that will happen in 5 years' time. It's happening now. Those who are losing jobs because the economy is tanking. It's happening. You don't wait for 5 years to see it. Anybody, check your neighbor. If you're lucky you have a job, ask your neighbor. Check your friends, your relatives. It's happening. You don't need 5 years to see it. It's all around us. Who doesn't have somebody asking them to help them, link them with a job today? Who doesn't have?
So many?
Yeah. So you don't have to wait for 5 years for you to say the impact.
Okay.
The impact is what we are living today. The pain is right here with us. So somebody telling you to wait for 5 years, that's political gaslighting. It's happening right now here and now. But we can also see as it's happening, we are seeing some people growing fatter, buying luxury cars and Balenciaga and Gucci shoes and apparels. It's happening. We don't have to wait for 5 years to see people wearing expensive watches worth 20 million. They're wearing it today. So for them, life is good. For the rest of Kenyans, it's pain. So why do you wait for 5 years?
Okay. Okay, truth be told, the government has made several policies so far, and it's very clear right now, based on what we are witnessing, and even going by the recent happenings in the country with regards to the health sector, with regards to the education sector as well. In the education sector, of course, the new funding model was introduced. Up to now, Kenyans have said it's not working. If you look at the health sector as well, Kenyans are saying it's not working as well. Why do you think this new and novel kind of ideas that and policies that the government is bringing on board are not actually working? Because we thought that in the health sector, the shift from NHIF would actually just go ahead seamlessly, and we would experience some sort of a problem. Yes, we had a problem with NHIF back then, but not as we are experiencing this problem right now. Where do you think the problem is? Why are these things all not working? Why are things falling apart?
Incompetence. It boils down to incompetence. There's no vision of leadership that Kenya Kwanza has. So what is the intent when they implement these programs? The intent is for someone to profit. And anything you do, when the intent is not pure, you will not succeed. So the intent, they pretend they're going to come up with the shift share to help improve healthcare services. But the intent is to make money. So they will make money, but what Kenyans expect of the program will not work. Because the intent is not pure. The intent is informed by greed.
Is it not a case of maybe trial and error? Let's try this new idea.
I've told you there's nothing about trial and error. It's about the intent.
So
you want to play trial and error with people's lives. Because people have died here because of these shift share failures. Those lives will never be recovered. It's the intent. Look at the intent. The intent is someone says, let me come up with this new program. I'll make money out of it. They don't care about the effect. Because if the intent was to provide access to healthcare services, it would be a different story altogether. But it's not. That is why you're seeing these failures. The intention is greed. The intention is informed by a desire to make money out of these programs. It is not to provide services to the people of Kenya. That intent is what is making all of these things fail. And I call it incompetence.
So people are making money with the lives of Kenyans here, both in the health sector, in the education sector, and all this. But of course, I don't want to ask you for a way out here, because I'm pretty sure you'd say Kasongo must go.
But that's the way out. The fish rots from the top. Kasongo must go. That's the only way out. There's no other way out of this. Yeah. Me, I've never seen a fish that rots from the bottom. It rots from the head.
Okay. Beyond the articulation, we are still waiting whether the president will actually leave. And I can see a number of Kenyans are actually determined to make President William Ruto one-term president, including you. I wonder how easy that would be. But for you, from your end, you're saying it's quite easy as long as you resonate with the people.
Yes.
As long as you resonate with the people.
With the people. It's about the people.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, weigh in and tell us what you think about what is going on in the country. Why do you think all these government policies and ideas are actually failing? Why are things falling apart for President William Ruto? We are still asking this question. Weigh in and tell us what you think. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this family. My name is Evans Okinyi.